Hola amigos, feliz viernes. Hoy es viernes. Yo soy Rory y estoy contento estar aquí contigo hoy. This week I had the opportunity to talk about coping strategies with one of my daughters who's, working on being a student athlete within a high school setting that's super academic and challenging. And as I was preparing for our conversation, because she was having a rough time, as I was preparing for the conversation, I thought, have I done something like this with with our medical Spanish community? Do I have a video Viernes lesson on coping strategies? I knew I did some mental health stuff. And in fact, all those lessons are linked down below on this blog post. So make sure you're on the blog and check out the other mental health. We're just adding this one now, coping strategies, to our mental health series. So coping strategies in Spanish, 2 birds with 1 stone for me this week. I have some personal experience talking through some of this stuff. And if you ever have an opportunity to talk about dealing with stress, things like that with your patients in Spanish, hopefully this lesson will help. All right, let's get started with some vocabulario relevante. So, abrumado, agobiado, 2 good words for overwhelmed in Spanish. Afrontar, like to confront or to face. Altibajos de la vida. Altibajos, like the highs and lows. Altibajos de la vida. Estar estresado, to be stressed. Estar molesto, to be bothered, or annoyed. Estrategias de afrontamiento. So, these are our coping strategies. Estrategias, strategies de afrontamiento. So, strategies to afrontar, face something. Yeah. Estrés, stress. Herramientas, tools. Manejar, to manage. Manejar las emociones, for example, to manage your emotions. Manejo del estrés, managing stress or stress management. Mantenerse conectado, to keep. Mantener is the verb to keep or stay or maintain, right? So mantenerse conectado, to keep yourself connected. Niveles de estrés, niveles, levels of stress. Reducir, to reduce. Retos, retos are challenges. Rutinas, routines. Saludable, healthy. Tácticas, tactics. Técnicas, techniques. Y una crisis, so like a crisis. Okay, so we've got some vocabulario relevante. This may or may not come up in what you talk about with coping strategies. We'll see some of it in action here. Okay, let's get started with algunas preguntas para empezar. A few questions to start. ¿Qué le gusta hacer para distraerse? What do you like to do to distract yourself? ¿Cómo le gusta aliviar el estrés? How do you like to relieve or alleviate your stress? Hacer algo creativo, do something creative. Actividad física, physical activity. Relajarse, relax. Pasar tiempo con familia o amigos. So pasar tiempo is how in Spanish we say spend time. So pastime, pasar tiempo. ¿Cómo se siente cuando? How do you feel when? And you could toss in a strategy there. Cuando usted hace actividad física, when you do physical activity, for example. ¿Alguna vez ha intentado? Have you ever tried? Fill in the blank with estrategia. Cuando se siente agobiado o abrumado. Remember those 2 words? Agobiado, abrumado from our previous slide. Overwhelmed. Okay, so have you ever tried? Fill in the blank with strategy when you feel overwhelmed. Okay? All right, so a few questions to get started. Let's get started with una pequeña descripción of estrategias de afrontamiento. So, coping strategies. Las estrategias de afrontamiento nos ayudan, they help us a manejar los sentimientos, they help us to manage our feelings y los estreses de la vida and life's stresses. El afrontamiento es algo que tenemos que aprender con la práctica. So these strategies, coping, es algo que tenemos que aprender con la práctica. Something we have to learn via or through practice. Es importante conocer estrategias. It's important to know strategies saludables, healthy strategies, para afrontar los retos en la vida. It's important to know healthy strategies to confront or face the challenges in life, ¿verdad? Okay, bien. Let's take a look at some estrategias activas. Okay, so we've got it broken down into a handful of categories. So estrategias de afrontamiento activas. Apretar una pelota anti-stress. So squeeze a stress ball. You're going to notice that some of these Suharencias might lend themselves to different age groups. So some for children, some for adults, etc. Hopefully there's enough of a smattering that you can use them with your patients, okay? Apretar una pelota antiestrés. Dar un paseo en bicicleta. Go for a bike ride. Hacer una caminata. Do a hike. Go for a hike. Hacer yoga o estiramientos. So practice yoga or stretching. Jugar bola. Patear una pelota. Jugar bola is like a slangy way to say play soccer. Patear una pelota, kick a ball. Poner música y bailar. Put on some music and dance. Rebotar una pelota, like bounce a ball. Salir a caminar o correr. So go out for a walk or for a run. Salir a jugar. Go out and play. Saltar la cuerda. Jump rope. Okay? Okay, so algunas estrategias de afrontamiento activas. If you have some other favorite active coping strategies, make sure you comment them down below in the comments area of the video. Okay, estrategias de afrontamiento relajantes. So like coping strategies more on the relax range of things, okay? Abrazar un animal de peluche. So animal de peluche, a stuffed animal. So hug a stuffy. Beber un trago de agua fría. Drink some cold water. Cerrar los ojos. Close your eyes. Y contar hasta 10. So count up to 10. O atrás desde 100. Or count backwards from 100. Escuchar música relajante. Listen to relaxing music. Leer un libro. Read a book. Pasar tiempo al aire libre. Spend some time outside. Pensar en un lugar tranquilo y feliz. So think about a calm and happy place. Respirar profundamente. So breathe deeply. Soplar burbujas. Blow bubbles. Tensar y relajar los músculos. So, tense and relax your muscles. Tomar un baño o una ducha. You could add largo there. A long one, okay? Tomar un descanso. Take a rest. Okay? So estrategias de afrontamiento relajantes. Hey, if you're learning something right now, make sure you like this video, subscribe to our channel. That's how we keep doing this, okay? All right. Estrategias de afrontamiento creativas. So some creative coping strategies. Colorear, dibujar o pintar. So coloring, drawing, painting. Escribir una historia. Write a story. Escribir un poema. Write a poem. Inventar una canción, make up a song. Jugar con plastilina. Plastilina is a good word for like modeling clay. Yeah, and also in some contexts, Play-Doh, okay? Llevar un diario para expresar los pensamientos. So keep a diary to express your thoughts y las emociones and emotions. Tocar un instrumento, so play an instrument. That for me is actually more stressful. Okay, all right, muy bien. Continuamos. Estrategias de afrontamiento social. So some social coping strategies. Abrazar o jugar con la mascota. So hug or play with a dog or a pet, excuse me. Compartir los sentimientos con alguien en quien confía. So share your feelings with someone you trust. FaceTime or WhatsApp con los familiares o amigos. If you don't use WhatsApp, you might not be that familiar with it, but WhatsApp is like the #1 communicator internationally with people. So FaceTime or WhatsApp con amigos o familiares. Jugar un juego con la familia o amigos. Play a game with family or friends. Llamar a un amigo, so call a friend. Okay? Estrategias de afrontamiento cognitivas, so more like cognitive-based coping strategies. Cerrar los ojos y pensar en algo que está esperando. Close your eyes and think about something you're hoping for. Concentrarse en lo que pueda controlar. Focus on what you can control. Concentrarse en una cosa por la que está agradecido. Focus on something that you're thankful for. Mirar fotos y pensar en recuerdos felices. So look at pictures. Think about, happy memories. Pensar en algo positivo. Think about something positive. Pensar en algo que le haga reírse. Think about something that makes you laugh. Practicar reencuadres. Reencuadres would be like reframing a situation, for example. This might be a bad example, but I did one about work. En lugar de, el estrés de mi trabajo es insoportable, my stress at work is insoportable, like I can't bear it, unbearable. Intente pensar, try to think, oh, tengo suerte de tener un trabajo estable. I'm lucky to have a stable job. So you can think of better reframing things, but this is what came to mind. Okay, all right, bien. So, reencuadres, reframing. Estrategias de afrontamiento no saludables. Let's talk about some non-healthy or unhealthy coping strategies. Evitar o negar los problemas. No afrontarlos. So, evitar, avoid, negar, deny los problemas. No afrontarlos. Not face them, not confront them. Dormir demasiado. Sleep too much. Es otra manera de evitar la situación actual. It's another way of avoiding the situación actual. Actual is like a false cognate. It means current. So, the current situation. Okay? El uso excesivo de alcohol o drogas, so excessive use of alcohol or drugs, es un escape mental. It's a mental escape por un tiempo, pero tiene sus consecuencias negativas, but it has its negative consequences. Hacer compras impulsivas, making impulsive shopping, basically. Comer mucho o no comer lo suficiente, so eating a lot or not eating enough, okay? All right, so we've got a handful of good estrategias, a few non-healthy estrategias. Now it's time to practicar con su compañero. Paso uno, first step in practicing with your compañero, identify a common patient profile that you end up talking about coping strategies for frequent life stressors. Okay, so between the two of you, identify some patients that tend to be, typical situations where you're talking about stresses and coping strategies, things like that. And then paso dos, role play. Role play asking your patient, your compañero, how they tend to deal with difficulties and make some additional suggestions, okay? All right, preguntas. If you've got preguntas, post them in the comments section below. If you need a conversation partner, head over to the Learning Medical Spanish Facebook group, put yourself out there and say, hey, I'm in this time zone, at this level, I would love to practice some medical Spanish with someone who's available. Okay, great. Gracias por aprender español conmigo. Juntos mejoramos comunidades. Together, we really are making a difference, improving communities. Para más español, head over to Common Ground International, the website. If you're not on the blog already, get over there. All sorts of free resources for you. And if you'd like to take un examen de español médico, a free medical Spanish terminology test, head over to Certified Spanish, create your free account. You can take an unlimited number of free medical Spanish terminology tests. Thanks for joining me today. If you like this lesson, make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Share the video with your friends. And I hope to see you next week para la próxima lección. Ciao, amigos.